Hi guys, welcome back for another adventure with the On the Edge mod pack. Toddy the body here. Let's flip it around. So we're back here on our dimensional world that we had made. Let's see, anything I had done. There we go, that helps with the HUD. I did one round of quarry. And we did that. Oh, we did it over this way, straight ahead. And we took out this mound right here. You can see it's already starting to grow some grass back. But I just wanted to take out just one mound just to see what was in the ground. I needed some dimensional shards anyways. The only thing you're really going to notice is that this tree is now dirt. There's probably one block of wood in there or something that's keeping these leaves. Huh, that's weird. And then that over there is just a hole that I started digging in to find some shards, but I was not finding any. And that's why we did the quarry down there. Also, something that happened is that you have to chunk load the actual builder's block, and part of that chunk has this. And you know from the first couple episodes, creepers like to blow up light sources. So those glowstones that generate with these platforms, yeah, they blew up where you can see it, you can see that it's the marble, or not the marble, but the limestone. So I took out that one. And that was pretty close to this. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to come back or go back home or whatever if it took that out. So I took out the light sources. Hopefully they don't come back to kill these things. So let's go back to our base. And here we are. I didn't intend this before when we made this. Oh, I made a filing cabinet too for these guys. This is an easy way back to our water base. See? But we're not working in the water base today. Today I want to begin getting into automation, which means I have to begin getting into AE so that I can store my items. Which means that I have to begin getting processors. So if I need processors, then I need inscribers, which I have the inscribers. I went ahead and built those. You guys don't want to see me do all the crafting. And we're going to use Steve's Factory Manager to automate this process. And it's not going to be a total automation. At first here we're going to have to actually place the things in, but at least we don't have to monitor and, you know, take things in and out and the different processors and chips and all that. One thing I did want to get was an ender chest. So there's our ender chest, and I sure hope we're ready this time to put this together. I've dug out a few holes for some of the pieces that might be hidden. So let's jump right into this. Alright, so first thing, we have our place for our manager so that we can put in our programs. Here's the interface. We'll look at that a little bit. I need a place for the chest to put in the items. And then the inscribers and the chargers, they take power. I don't know if I need the energy acceptor, but we're going to use it anyways. So we'll put that there. We'll give it some power. There we go. Set to receive energy. Alright, so that should be getting energy. Alright, now let's place the rest of our cable. We want it touching the manager, and then all along the back wall here. I think we're going to use every bit of it. Nope, we'll probably miss one. We could have probably just put our manager here, which we might move that over if we find out that that's the case. Alright, so next we'll put on the charger right there in case we need some more of those. And then here are our inscribers. And it does. Are they charging? That one's getting some power. Is that one getting power? Because I thought that the energy acceptor would send power to all these guys. Let me look at this and come back. So the internet says that it could be that Wayla isn't updating. So if this has power and this has power and it's right on top of the Tesseract, it would seem like if this has power, then power should be going through all this. So let's go ahead and try it out. and see if this charges. And then, yep, it keeps the charge, and then it powered back up. So there is power. That's good to know. So now we want to start getting into the programming. So we're going to start with the silicon press. We want to create a trigger. Usually I like to create their own command groups, but last time I did this, it sort of messed up. Like I was trying to get maybe a piece of gold to go in this one, but then the gold was going in the other three over here, something like that. And as soon as I took it out of a command group but didn't change the programming at all, it worked fine. So we'll see how much that we can squeeze in here, and if we need more space, then I guess we'll make a few commands and hope that it works. Alright, so I'm going to do maybe a couple of these. I'm always like, do you really want to see this kind of stuff? Because this is going to get boring. Just me saying, okay, now you need this box, now you need this box, now you need this box. So we'll try. You need input. You need a way to get items into the Steve's Factory Manager system. So that's the input right here. The input we're going to pull from. You get to pick the inventory. I'm going to try to talk fast because, oh, you know what? I don't have any of these Steve Factory blocks touching this chest. So we're just going to dig in here. Pretend like you don't see anything. There we go. Put that back. Put that back. There we go. You didn't see any of that. Okay. So now we need an input, and we need to pull from this chest right here. And then you can pick a side with the chest. It doesn't matter, so we'll just leave it on down. And we want to whitelist silicon. And this guy right here. Okay, so now we have silicon into the system. Where do we want to put the silicon? We just want to output it into the inscriber that is on the top left, and that's going to be 29Y and I think 5129. Do I have one that says 5129? 50? Let's check this here. Okay, so this is 4929. That's one we want. Alright, so inventory 4929. That is, there it is, 4929. Alright, so the press is at the top, so we want it to insert from the bottom. Deactivate, down, activate, and then items any, because the only item that should be in that system should be the piece of silicon. Alright. I'm trying to, do you have to hold the button? Yep, you gotta hold the button. Alright, so now we want to take the silicon press, or the whatever the chip is, the piece, out. And then we want to put it back into the chest. So we're going to do our trigger, input and output. See how many of these we can squeeze on here. The trigger, we'll just pick the 1 second interval with a single connection, and then we want to pull from inventory 4929, and we will pull it from, okay, and then we'll pull it from, I don't know if that matters when you're pulling, so let's leave it on, no, just to be safe, I'll deactivate, and then I'll do like one of the directions, like south. Okay, and then we want to pull out of there silicon. We will pull out the printed silicon, that's what it's called. Okay. And then the output, we want to put it back into the ender chest. And the target doesn't matter, and the items doesn't matter, because it should only be that press. So now we will put those all together. Whoops, if I can't even see it now. There we go. Now it's all connected. So now, if I put a piece of silicon in there, you should see it stamp up there and then go back. So we'll put one piece in, see if we can see it. So then it should place it over here. If I'm lucky, and I'm not lucky, Did it place in any of them? No, it sure didn't. Silicon. Let's do it ourselves. Oh, okay, so it doesn't go there. It goes here. So it should at least pull it out. I just need to fix where it's going in at. So pulled it out. Now it's right there. So let's take that out. Let's fix the program. It's a good thing we do these things on camera so that you can see my mess ups. So we want to output, and we want to change the target to, we'll just pick one of the side ones. Alright, so we put that in, look over, there it is right there in the middle, and then as soon as it gets enough energy, and we'll put accelerator cards in here, stamps it, puts it into there. So if I were to take this whole thing here, let's not do all of them, let's not even do that many, just for demonstration. See, and then it'll sit there and it'll stamp it, and then once it stamps it, it will put another one in. Okay, so now I'm going to do a similar programming for the diamond chipset, the gold, and the calculation. So calculation, engineers, and what do they call this one? I'm trying to remember. You guys are going to quiz me. Logic. I think the logic is actually the gold one, and the engineer is the diamond one. So I'm going to get those in, and then I'll show you the programming for the other three. Okay guys, so I've done a little bit more programming. Let me show you what I've got here. Let's go back to the one before. So these are for the silicon, then the gold, and the diamond, and the calculation press, and then this one I have here is for the charged quartz. So same thing, you just throw the regular quartz, Certus quartz inside there, and then it'll put it up here, charge it, and then bring it back into the chest for you. These are all the same commands. It triggers once per second, it pulls from the inventory of the chest, and it puts it inside whichever machine is going to use it. And then once it's done, it'll pull the product out and then place it back inside the chest for you. Now I was going to have these separately, but it seems like I can fit them all together. So this line here is to put the silicon press inside each of the three machines. So the output, you can pick more than one, so I have 3 selected there. This one does the redstone. See? And then this line here does the logic processor, just puts in the last part, the press, and then takes it out, and this one does the calculation, and then I will show you the engineers one. So the last inscriber left to use is this one right here, and then we want to put, we want to insert it from the, no, I'm sorry, we need to take it out of the chest first, and we want to do the engineers press, this one here, and then output it, and then this is where we pick this inscriber over here. And the target is going to be the down, and we don't have to set an item. So that one should be good, and then once it's finished, we pull it back from this inventory, and we'll pull it from south, and we will pull out the engineer's processor, this one over here, and then output it into the chest, and then connect it, and then that should be it. So let's try it out. We'll throw in the processor we have. You can see I've been testing. It'll put it right there. It'll press it. There we go. Now I have a silicon chip inside each one. You can kind of see it right there. So I'd like to see these from start to finish. So let's put a piece of redstone in each one just so we can get those silicon presses out. You see it filled up like that. And then we want to do one of each of these, just like that, and we'll see those press over here, and then they'll be moved over here. Alright, and then they'll press. Good deal. And then they'll be moved over here. So there they are, 2 of 2. So now let's do, I think it's just mainly because I like to see it work. But each processor takes these materials. So we're going to throw those in. Let's go. Bam, bam. And then watch it. See, it filled in the redstone already because it doesn't need to press or anything. The silicon still needs to press, so it's going to, we've got these right there. So put the silicon on one of them. There it is, that one. And then when it presses another one, it'll fill up another spot. So probably that one down there. Yep. And then when it presses another one, it'll fill up this spot. And do we get stuck? Oh, I know, because this is emptied. It put it down there. So all we have to do is just throw one of these in. There it is. And there we go. So that's how we automate the inscribers with the Steve's Factory Manager. One day, since we have the ender chest here, we will put a some crafting pipes from logistic pipes onto those in another crafting room, wherever that may be. And we'll be able to send the materials to this chest, and then the Steve's Factory Manager will just pull them out and put them where they need to go, including we'll do a charged Certus cord setup. And just for the sake of showing you everything that I do, let me show you something that I'd set up. Alright, load in everything. I needed some of these pure Certus quartz crystals to make that processor. So all I did is I made one of these. You guys have probably seen this in other videos, the crystal growth accelerators. In this pack we don't have the you know, the fast one that's like just a block and you don't need water. I forget what it's called, where you use 6 of these to craft it. We don't have that, so we'll be using this. I'll probably pull this up or like do, you know, like several stacks at a time, just so I don't have to have this here all the time. But that, I guess, concludes setting up the inscribers with Steve's Factory Manager. Thanks for coming, guys. I know it's a shorter episode, but I know some people don't like, if I can get flipped around, don't like to watch all the programming. So if you have any questions about it, let me know. And we'll use Steve's Factory Manager in the future for some other stuff. And you guys have a great day.